right, hello everyone. Welcome back to our Vampire the Masquerade, The Price of Power, Season 2, Episode 4, The Price of Blood. I am your storyteller, and it is now my job to guide these wonderful people through the dangers of the world of darkness, and hopefully they manage to make it out to another night. I'm making the promises. We will. I do not have any announcements for you this evening, so we will go ahead and let these wonderful people introduce themselves to you, and then we'll get into our story. And we are going to start with Ursamir.
Oh snap. We gonna die. But we might not. What's up, y'all? I'm Mercenary. Y'all already know where I'm at. Y'all already know what I be doing. If y'all was here Sunday, y'all heard it Sunday. YouTube, Twitch, all over both. Next caller.
All right, next up, Small Shadow Snap.
Hi, I am Ari. I am playing Vegas tonight. Also, yes, death is okay. If I go down, I'm coming back as something worse. You can find me on Twitter as so long as it survives at Small Shadow Snack. It's just possum. It's my possum emporium over there. I'm also a storyteller and producer over on the Gremlin Collective, which should be airing content here soon. So yay! Come watch Undead in Dallas. That's all I got. Hee hee.
All right, next up, Sir Monolith.
I'm at Sir Monolith on Twitter. You can catch me, well, obviously here tonight, but also Sunday nights, Sonorithian nights, and maybe in the future if the Mage game kicks back off.
All right, and last but certainly not least, Diachromaniac.
Hi, I'm Di. You can find me at Dichromaniac on both failing and robust social media platforms. Mostly live on Tumblr now, but such as this, you can also find me over at the Gremlin Collective with these wonderful people doing stuff. And ready to suffer some consequences from some poor decisions.
All right. And with that, the world of darkness is a world of terror, horror, and political consequence. If something happens tonight that you are not comfortable with, please feel free to step back, take a break, get some food, whatever you have to do, because your comfort is the most important. I have already spoken with these wonderful people here, and we have discussed what to do should they feel uncomfortable, and we will be taking steps to make sure that everyone is having fun tonight. But now that that moment has passed, it is time for our kindred to reawaken. I need all of you to give me your arouse checks as the vitae begins to stir in your bodies, and you rejoin the world of the living.
All right, let me
Yay,
roll.
we don't get hungrier. Yay.
I don't get hungrier either. Yay!
All right. Let's roll
I do.
Anash's,
Oh boy.
I rolled a 1.
So
As-
if you,
Hunger.
if you get hungrier, does that make it an arousal check?
But I'm done.
Yes.
I am thirsty.
You suffer
Thank you,
various levels of damage.
Thank you, everyone. We'll be here all week.
Yeah. Super thirsty.
All right, so it looks like only one of you got hungrier. Is that correct?
No, I got hungry. Oh no, I got success. Never mind.
Yeah, you
sorry.
succeeded.
I saw the one and I was like, oh man.
All right.
That's what was getting me last week.
Then the hunger begins to grow inside you, Tansy, and it is not pleasant. You can feel the beast clawing at its chains, momentarily pushing you forward, but you manage to suppress the urge, and the four of you find yourselves awake once more. The darkened, somewhat pleasant coterie haven that you all have managed for yourselves is as you expect it to be. And I leave the story to the four of you.
Walt's checking on his gift. Is it still
It
there?
looks, yes, it looks to be pretty well put together. It doesn't. You figured you probably want to add some extra circumstance to make it appealing to look at, but the actual gift itself is finished.
I might have to do some battle tinkering instead. That's kind of the top priority. But yeah, I'll put a hold on what I want to do there. Let y'all go ahead. I got to think it out.
Well,
Y'all ain't gonna go.
Well, I was waiting. Vegas is actually gonna go out and eat because he hungry.
One person wishes to hunt.
I'm
In our
not hungry.
territory.
Yeah.
I would also, Tansy wakes up and goes through her evening ritual of putting on the emo persona mask that she's currently wearing and would also like to go out and hunt.
Are you two hunting together?
If her hunting styles can work together, sure.
No, I don't think they will.
Fair enough.
Okay. Separately it is. Can I have you both make a hunting roll? I believe your difficulty will be 3 based on your coterie statistics.
Yay.
Yay. Let's see. You know what? Let's do.
Yes.
Yeah. 2, 3, 4. Mistake. So yeah, we're looking for another dead body. So we're gonna do the medicine resolve.
6 with a crit.
4.
Is it a messy crit?
No, thank heavens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He's like, darn it.
And Vegas.
Look here,
will
I had to
find-
double check my blood die, and I was like, phew.
Oh snap! I got a crit too. 1. So that's 4, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 successes.
In that case, you are both incredibly efficient tonight. You move in almost like ghosts and obtain what you need. How much blood are you taking from your victims tonight?
2 to put me back at 1.
I would also like to take 2, if possible, to put me back at 1.
That is absolutely doable. And you both find yourselves, we'll say the process will only take you about half an hour this time, as you are both surprisingly efficient. And you find yourselves returning to your haven shortly after.
All right. Walt would have gone dumpster diving at the nearest Goodwill / Salvation Army.
In
We
search
need
of what?
supplies, new clothes, some old perfume bottles, them antique perfume bottles that older people be donating that nobody really buys, those sorts of things. Water guns. He's trying to fill his backpack. He's taking Precious with him to be on the lookout.
How are you taking a skunk with you for this?
They'd let her keep in tow. Like, just like, man, it's a skunk. Domestic skunks are a thing.
Most establishments do not allow for you to bring your skunk
He's
inside
dumpster
of
diving.
them.
He's not shopping.
Okay.
And he's wearing the rattiest hoodie possible. He's homeless. What part of Trash Panda do you not understand, though?
You are able to find clothing without an issue, though none of it really matches. It's more of a hodgepodge of worn out and damaged and barely put together things. You do not find any perfume bottles or any containers like that, though.
That's all it is on the haul, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, go in the backpack, head on back. We'll make use of this.
Okay. I suppose that just leaves Anosh tonight.
Well, and it'll catch up on where we ended last time because my brain is foggy. We'd fucked something up. I remember that.
That is a
But
pattern
that's like
with you
every
all.
single day. So, I mean, it's not. It's kind of broad. It's kind of a broad, we didn't eat anybody's stuff and create any new vampires, so that was good. But oh wait, no, I remember now. We were trying to capture or kill that old ghoul, and we jacked that up. So I might maybe I think I might spend time getting in contact with my Mala to see if you can get a lead on that particular target and or any advice on tracking them down or eliminating this apparently a little more skilled than normal former undead lackey who happens to not be so former since they still happen to have powers. They're still
Roll
suckling off
me,
the vampire teat.
roll me your mall rating in dice. You do not need to include hunger.
Okay. If I can find it. Oh, it's on the other page. Yeah, just roll here. Boop. 8, 10, 9.
How are you getting in contact with your mall tonight?
Well, the only way I can think of at the moment would be probably by phone. I don't have another method really available. I guess I could technically probably do it through a computer or something, but he's not super electronics savvy. So sticks to kind of what he, keeps it simple. Usually just have kind of like throwaway phone numbers. After one conversation is had at some point, just gets slipped a new number at some point in the future to reach them on.
Okay. You do find it takes a moment. You have to call the number 3 times before there is a response. But a voice that is distinctly not the same as your Mala's answers. And you've done this before. You know that there is some ability that your person has that can disguise them over electronics. Yes, child.
God, I forgot her name.
You in trouble.
Allow me to make a note.
Thought I had it in here somewhere. I was just looking at my stuff. God,
I'm sorry. It's a prank.
I got it. It's just yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Irrelevant. Yeah, I was looking for some advice on a particularly slippery target.
This target wouldn't be the mortal I've been hearing about, would it?
I don't know, what mortal have you been hearing about?
Don't play coy, child. It is unlike you to leave such sloppiness behind. It is unbefitting your blood.
It was strange. It's apparently the mortal took hold of one of my companions' wraiths, whatever that is, and used it to make a daring escape out the, I don't know what floor we were on, like the 30th floor window, before we could even get in the room.
I am not a sorcerer, so I cannot tell you much about how to deal with those things. I can tell you that it is unbecoming of you to let to let a mortal escape.
I agree.
But it is not. All is not lost. I will not tell you how to fix your problem. You would not learn if I did that.
Oh, I don't want to know how to fix it. Just trying to get an idea of where they might be or maybe some places to find them, or at least some good leads to look into their whereabouts, because our ends have been coming up a little bit on the dry side, and this mortal's clearly more than we've been told, as we had heard their sire was long dead. So for them to still be, you know, playing with these powers seems a little unusual.
Do you know why the Camarilla wants this immortal dealt with?
Nope, we were not given that much information.
Surely you have thoughts.
I mean, I can only imagine they know a bit too much, and could pose a problem for certain people, maybe be a little more than an inconvenience, as it were. Plus, these types of individuals don't usually outlive their masters anyway, so it did seem a bit odd that they were still around after such a long time.
You are correct. It is highly unusual, which means the person you are dealing with is hardly usual. However, sending a group of kindred to deal with a single mortal is a bit of overkill, as the young would say. Why do you think they would ask you to deal with it?
Must be a threat to somebody. Threaten how? That's the interesting part. That would be.
Every one of us is under threat by someone.
I mean, that's fair.
I want you to think about the situation a bit harder, Anosh. It's been a while, but I don't think spending time with the youths and the Giovanni has caused your instincts to go so dull. What would the Camarilla gain by having the four of you deal with this problem?
I assume either they underestimated their target and wanted it completely done. Although we are in a bit of a pickle with regards to paying back our debt from some certain recent unfortunate events. So that's really not too big of a problem. Uh, we all make mistakes after all. But yes, it was an interesting favor to ask us to do insofar as being part of that payback. I guess I'll have to meditate on this.
I can tell you your target has not left the city. I can tell you they are not particularly wealthy, so you don't have to deal with that particular issue. I can also tell you that danger and opportunity go hand in hand in the night.
Of course.
And you all won't survive if you continue to make mistakes. This is a test for the four of you. There's an opportunity to prove that you all are useful, and it will determine how the tower views you going forward. Are you merely a dog to be sicked on enemies, or are you creative enough to take fortune from disaster?
Well, I guess we'll see now, won't we?
Indeed. I will be watching.
Record it too for later. I'm sure it'll be interesting one way or another.
Call is disconnected.
Well, that was not completely useless. Anash is going to think about what conversation we just had and relax until he's gonna mull over it until the rest maybe get back.
Okay. Once you all finish up the tasks you split up to do, you are able to reconvene in your coterie haven. I leave the scene to you all.
Walt, of course, smells like a dumpster. Precious smells fine, ironically. Walt's going to be checking on his spoils in the meantime. He's getting a good look at the clothes he took.
The clothes themselves seem to be rather old, probably a few decades back in style, but you figure you could probably use them for something. They are very much in need of a wash, and they probably won't hold out for extended periods of time, but they're good enough.
Okay. That chemistry set's coming out too.
Is it Vampy's first chemistry set?
You better believe it.
It comes in a nice little cardboard box. So
Okay. Ree, will you allow Walt to make tear gas?
Why would Walt know how to make tear gas?
It's pretty basic because it's like taking onions. He's definitely been digging around the trash, so he has trash goop, and he has, skunk. I forgot the proper term for it, but the skunk spray.
booty stank.
Pretty
Isn't
much.
tear gas basically just vinegar and bleach?
Mm-hmm.
Would Walter know that?
Well, Walter,
Would Walter
Dog.
know that? I didn't know how to make tear gas in real life until a few seconds ago. By the way, if you're watching this, we did not tell you that.
Actually, though, we maybe did, because if you are
No, we
cleaning the places
Mhm.
we
We did
live,
not.
do not use vinegar
did
and bleach together when you are
Yeah.
cleaning your
Also,
house.
don't use ammonia and bleach together. That's
Yep.
bad.
Don't do it.
Ashland based
Yeah.
bad news.
Yes. It's actually very
Legal
basic
reasons.
household cleaning safety.
But
Legal
yeah,
reasons. You didn't hear that here.
No one on this channel is endorsing you mix chemicals at home. Leave
No,
it
I'm-
to the professionals.
Yeah, I'm actively telling you not to do this.
Walt has 3 dots in craft, 3 dots in medicine, and 3 dots in science. And he's a pharmaceutical student.
Roll intelligence and crafts,
You got it.
and you may blood surge if you like.
All right. We'll see how this goes. Yeah. Oh, you see. It's not worth spending the willpower on it. It's not. He needs it. It's not. That was no successes at all.
You are unable to do so. You may try again a different night, but we will consider this a project style roll. So at the moment, you have no successes.
At all, man. At all.
All right. As the 4 of you are sitting around and considering what to do next, and Walt is attempting to create things, there is a knock at your front door.
I hide behind the couch.
Oh boy. Walt's preoccupied, so and a little frustrated.
Right, I'll get
Yes.
that.
All
Magus
right,
is gonna get up and get the door.
As you open the door, you find standing on the other side is a dark-skinned man. His head is completely shaved, and he seems to be maybe in his late 30s, maybe early 40s. You can't quite tell. He has a cane with a kind of dim, looks to be a crystal, maybe diamond. You aren't quite sure if it's real or not. He's wearing a very nice black suit. It looks to be vintage. With that kind of tux with tails design. Good evening. Is Mr. Reshi here today?
Walt will slowly look up.
He depends. Who can I say is calling?
Walt, you didn't tell me you had a friend like this.
Walt's like,
My name is Luther. I am under the employ of Lady Jezebel and Lucian.
Oh,
I
snap.
am here to see him.
Well,
You don't look like a loofah to me.
please come on in.
Luther. Thank you.
Well, Mr. Luther's here to see you.
Ah, Luther.
You thought it was Luther? Oh, dog. I'm sorry. Walt's gonna come over slowly and tentatively.
Oh, he's
Obviously nervous.
Obviously, I'm at a distance. I can't hear things.
Yes.
You are Walter Reshi, is that correct?
I mean, it depends on what it's about.
I'm here under the lady's orders. I am to bring you to meet with her at once. She would like to have a conversation.
Walt's gonna gulp and nod and grab his backpack. He's gonna lean down and be like, "Now, Precious, you gotta watch the phone, all right?" He don't know better. He petting the skunk. He don't know better.
Luther looks at you. For just a moment, there is a flicker of emotion before he schools his expression. Are you ready, Mr. Reshi?
Ready as I'll ever be, I guess.
Did you wish for your companions to join you?
I mean, I didn't know that's allowed. Like, anybody want to come?
What are you doing, Walt?
I don't
The
know.
lady is understandable about how young kindred tend to rely on their compatriots.
Well, if anybody want to come visit my lady or something, like, you're welcome to come with me.
Yeah, I'll come.
Yeah. Lady taking gentlemen callers?
I don't know. Malta's so ignorant, po baby.
Are you feeling thirsty, Anush?
No, I'm pretty good right now. It's been a fairly uneventful evening. Yes, although did find some interesting information about our friend from the other night, but that can wait for later.
But yeah, Walt's ready to go. He's got his backpack with him.
Is follow behind, and he will leave. Who is following?
Marching order?
So
Well, you know
Tansy,
Walt's moving first.
I assume Walt is going. Anosh in Vegas.
Vegas is going to stay behind and heal some of the damage he took the other night.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm interested, but maybe we can work on. Maybe I'll stay back with Vegas and we can work on looking into this.
Walt left Precious at the keep, so.
Very well. Tremere and Giovanni are going to speak with another Tremere. How curious. The two of you are led to a very long limo. It looks to be an older design, something probably from the early 2000s. It looks to have been very well and very meticulously cared for. There's another person here, a gentleman with his hair cut down but not quite bald. And he stands and he opens the door to allow the three of you to enter, both of you and Luther. and the door is shut. A moment later, you hear the car turn on, and you all are in motion. Is there anything you all wish to do while you are traveling?
Walt's pulling out an old can of Axe body spray to desperately cover his trash can scent.
It does not help. It really just makes it worse.
Now you just
He
smell like
tried.
trash axe.
Exactly. You trash panda, man. He
Is
tried.
either of you activating the blush of life?
Yeah, Walt will do that. He learned that much.
Yeah, yeah, I will. I will. I will. Let's.
Okay, we still don't get hungry. Yay.
Oh, yes. Oh, thank God I don't get hungry. Oh,
You will, Levite. Your skin begins to warm. It takes on a bit of a blush to it. A little bit healthier. A little bit more alive. You all are situated next to each other, and there is enough space for you to move around, though not quite large enough for you to stand up or to move, I would say, comfortably. Luther is sitting across from you. His back is facing the driver's seat. And he does not say anything unless you all do.
Oh man, Walt's curious. You know he's gonna. And Mr. Luther, thank you for taking me to see my lady and all that, but I don't know how it works with us. So you got like a special rank or something?
It is not important. You are still young. There are no expectations of you at the moment.
How y'all get this sweet ride, man?
There are many things that can be granted with a few extra years of life and the proper discipline.
It even got a sunroof in there, but we probably don't use that though.
Not usually.
Yeah, you can see Walt's looking around. Like Tansy knows Walt behavior. He's taking it all in.
is this your first time in a limo, Walt?
I mean, yeah.
Oh,
I'm,
well, I look around. If this is like that, mid early 2000s limo, does it have like the track lighting on the inside for like the party limo vibe?
It does, but those seem to be turned off for the moment. But they are there.
Um, hey, Mr. Luther, it would be really cool. Could we like turn on the lights? It's, I feel like you did all of this work to bring us out in style. We might as well have a little bit of fun. Track lights?
Very well. You may. There is a switch to your right. You may.
Well, you are gonna love this.
Walt is absolutely impressed.
A series of lights come on, but you are both a bit surprised to see the lights are in this crimson red color that almost bathe the inside of the limo in a almost blood-like light. It is almost enough to make you wonder just where you are for a moment. It's enough to kind of excite the beast inside of you. But you calm.
I was like, no.
It was enough to entertain.
I mean, y'all be developing photos in this thing, man? Like,
Not
kind of
quite.
like a red room thing going on.
It does many good uses, but it is not quite for developing photos, Mr. Reshi.
Walt nods. He's still taking it in.
So what is it for? I mean, other than vibes.
I will allow the mistress to explain if she feels it necessary.
Mr. Luther so far is pretty lenient. So far.
I must admit I am curious as to why Giovanni would so eagerly accept such an offer on her own.
Well, Walt is my friend, and I didn't want him going alone. And I have to admit, I am very, very curious about. I know that you have a reputation, but it doesn't weird me out like it weirds out a lot of people. And so I think I'm just curious.
Curiosity is to be respected, but it can be dangerous.
Tell me about it, Mr. Luger. Sometimes my curiosity get me in loads of trouble, but sometimes you just need to know a little something. Like there this one time, my friend made some atomic Cheetos, right? See, that's when you take some flaming hot Cheetos and you put some habanero on it, and then you put some ghost pepper on it. And he was all like, it's gonna be spicy, you know what I'm saying? I said, like, we all had a little kick from time to time, you know what I'm saying? I put a little cayenne pepper on my ramen noodles back in the day. But he's like, nah, it's gonna be like spicy, man. So I was like, all right, cool. And then I had one, and then my stomach was never the same after that.
Interesting anecdote. I will be sure to note it down. Mr. Rashi, where is your sire?
I don't know. I don't know, sir.
I see. And how is it that you came to be acquaintances with Miss... I'm afraid I don't have your name.
Oh, it's Tansy.
Yeah, she the best.
Oh, you're
Is
the
she?
best.
Yeah, she's wonderful.
Do you know each other well?
We've been kicking it for a hot minute, but it ain't like we go way back in the day, you know what I'm saying?
As well as you know anybody in this immortal coil, I guess.
But yeah, I was walking the streets and, I just knew I could do fancy stuff and I didn't even know what I was called until, my friends called me, the ones I met at the crib, and they started telling me things. They actually gave me a name for what I was, and I
What
guess that's how I found
friends?
everything else. Everybody you met back at the keep.
Oh, your coterie mates.
Yeah, I heard that name being tossed around, but they my people.
Does anyone else know what you are?
I did say it in front of, all the people at the fancy place.
At
Which
least
fan? Ah, good. Well, we will be arriving soon, and I will take you to where you are going. You all are able to leave whenever you see fit. We will ensure that the young miss of the Giovanni is safe both coming and going, as long as you still remain respectful.
Yes, sir. Mr. Luton.
I will do my absolute best.
And a moment later, you begin to feel the car slow down. Stay close by and do not wander off. It can be dangerous if you are not prepared.
Walt nods, shoulders backpack, ready to stay close.
A moment later, the car is pulled to a stop. The door opens, and the three of you are let out. And you find yourself standing in what looks to be like just in front of a open courtyard. It looks like it belonged to a church at one point, kind of very gothic architecture, but you aren't sure where it came from exactly. It takes you a moment to realize, but you have gone underground somewhere. The cavern you're in is very tall, but as you kind of look upwards, you find there is stone where you would expect to see the sky. And Luther turns to you and gestures you forward. Come.
Well, follows.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'll elbow Walt and go, fancy. And follow as well.
The two of
You
you
know,
all
it's like the
head
Bat
inside.
Cave, but no Bash.
Yeah, Wolf definitely going
And-
inside. He too curious.
And while the two of you are doing that, our camera is going to focus on the other two members of your coterie. Anash and Vegas. What are you two up to?
I guess you're just like laying around in the, I'm assuming, living room of the Coterie Haven.
Yeah, sitting on the couch, smoking a cigarette, and healing the superficial damage he took the other night.
Okay. Roll that for me.
It
That
does
rough
take it
night
out of you.
smoke.
Got hungrier.
Oh no.
So
It's okay,
hungry.
that's just 2.
Okay.
But can I try and do the rest of it?
Or if it's superficial damage, you can heal as much as you like.
Ha! And that one's a success. Only
Okay.
hungies by 1.
You spin the vitae and stitch your body back together. It doesn't take very long, though it is a little bit unsettling to see. But you've gotten used to the feeling. What did you two wish to do tonight?
Well, I will probably just, I'm just going to start talking to Vegas. Our friend from the other night, they're still in the city. They haven't left. And sources tell me they don't have a lot of money, so I don't think they'll be trying to leave so much as laying low. Do you know anybody that might be able to help us find them?
My only option is not happy with me. But I'm more concerned about who's holding their leash.
It's a good question. We did kind of screw the pooch on that one. Who knew that they'd be able to put a saddle on that wraith and ride it out the window?
Yeah, that's what's concerning.
That was a little bit tricky. Um, I think we're obviously going to have to figure something else out. We got to finish the job.
Yeah.
I don't think that there's really any way around that.
We're also gonna have to get that wraith back.
Yeah, that it didn't seem too happy with Tansy. What's up with that? I thought they were buddies.
Oh no. No, they're never buddies.
Oh, okay. It's
It's
more of a love-hate relationship then.
more like you do what I say or I'm gonna make your unlife terrible.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I can see that creating a little resentment.
Yeah. So I don't know who he was, but
Apparently had a few more tricks up his sleeves than we were led to believe. Just a mortal. That's mortals don't just do that, especially ones that by all means shouldn't have, those powers left over. If they don't have a master feeding them, unless I guess they're getting blood somewhere else. But
yeah. See, controlling those is usually it's usually only just the family can do that. But we're gonna have to find out who he was, see if we can't get another personal belonging of him and summon him back.
what was his master? I wonder. One of the family.
Oh, the former ghoul?
Yeah.
No, I think they said Toreador.
Hmm.
But now, who knows? Don't think it's one of the family. They don't usually go outside the family. It's kind of taboo.
Well, they learned how to play with Tansy's spirits better than most, which is highly unusual since you can only imagine that's a fairly closely guarded family secret.
Yeah, that's pretty closely guarded. Probably made a deal or something, and guess that Wraith probably took its fetter back.
But I wonder how they'd be able to even talk to it. I don't know
Oblivion,
anything about them.
maybe.
So,
That's my only thought is they could see it and talk to it. I mean, I have trouble seeing it, so
do you have a lot of expertise in Oblivion?
not much. It's not usually my cup of tea.
A little
I'm
too dark.
more like I kind of know what happens when you piss them off a little too much.
Hmm.
So best leave the dead to themselves.
Leave the dead dead. It's probably good advice.
Well, gonna have to find them, track them down, finish the job.
Perhaps even well, if we have the opportunity, perhaps we should milk them for some information before. I mean, it seems odd that they would send all of us for one mere mortal who was well, what we were led to believe, lacking of power and at least supernatural powers. Uh, Seemed extremely odd for us to just be like, oh, yeah, send all the people after him.
Yeah, they must either know something or knowing the tower, they're very quick to just try and get rid of troublemakers.
Maybe. I feel like they have to be a problem for somebody somewhere. Maybe an embarrassment, something. I don't know. Either way, somebody's lying to us or not telling us the whole truth.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. We find them, we get information from them, and then I guess we'll go from there.
Yeah, we can decide what to do from there, whether we finish the job or just act like we finished the job.
Well, for Tansy's sake, I think we should actually finish the job.
Well, like I said, we'll see where the night takes us. Have to find them first, though. Last time was a bit of a I don't know if the word blunder is quite right. Uh,
Yeah.
it reminded me a little of those old black and white movies with the I can't remember their names. There was three gentlemen, and they were bonking each other over the head and running into things. And
Oh, the Three Stooges?
there we are. Yes, yes, those were quite funny. Although I don't know if I relish the idea of acting it out in real life.
Yeah. I think we should probably plan a little bit better next time.
I mean, I think I heard somebody say once, those who fail to plan to fail. I think we've been planning to fail quite a bit.
Yeah, plans are never my specialty.
Well, I think maybe we're just in too much of a rush. We need to slow down, take our time. Although I guess we didn't really have time to take so much. We were on a little bit of a short notice with that one. But still, I guess we'll just have to figure it out. Maybe Tansy has some less angry connections at home that can Or wait, how is Tansy's situation with the family right now? Are they really upset with her? Is that why they sent you?
I'm here to stop her from making an ass out of herself in front of the tower.
Well,
I'm only sent because I didn't want to actually send anybody else. I'm not exactly.
you don't like babysitting.
I punch people for most of my time, alive and now dead. I've never babysat anybody.
Well, I guess we all get to learn new skills then.
Yeah. So what would you
Well,
think? What would be a good plan that you would think of to get rid of this person?
well, they're still in the city, so first thing we need to do is locate them. We know that they are definitely a little more capable than we were led to believe. I don't think we'll find them anywhere too fancy. They don't seem to have much in the way of financial means. I don't know if we'll find them, slumming it with the dredges of the city either, but we're definitely probably not going to find them somewhere expected now that they know they're being hunted. So I think we need to spend some time gathering information so that we can redeem ourselves and definitely stake out our target and perhaps develop a better plan next time, because that was not good.
I got at least some influence with the other side of the tracks. Maybe I could see what I can find out.
Yes, maybe if we can find Tansy's wraith friend too, that may help lead us to our target.
That involves knowing more about that guy, and I don't know his name. Do you know his name?
No, I imagine Tansy may know more.
All right. Well, how about until she gets back, I go
Take a
look.
nap?
I was gonna say look about, see if I can at least get a location on this person.
Okay. I mean, that works too. Seems like you've healed up those scratches from the other night, so
Yeah, I had to throw that shirt out. I'm rather annoyed.
that's unfortunate. Well, perhaps we can make them get you a new one when we find them.
Yeah, that one was, I guess they call it vintage now.
Oh no.
I
Well,
hate buying new clothes. Everything looks weird.
yes, I agree. The modern clothing is not quite my style, but you do with what you have, right? I don't want to stand out too much.
Yeah. You gonna stay here and I'll go ask about?
I don't have any reason to loaf around the house. Might as well stick together. Who knows what trouble we might run into alone.
Yeah, that's fair. All right, let's go. Let's go poke about, see what we can find.
Yes, that sounds good. I'll let you lead the way since you seem to know where you're going.
All right. I'll get his car keys and go
Guess we're going for a drive.
just for a little drive, see if we can figure out where this person's holed up.
Roll me your intelligence and streetwise, and you may add your influence.
Can I use wits instead?
Sure.
Yay. And influence. Okay. 5 successes.
Okay. How do you begin your search tonight?
I think knowing Vegas, he's gonna hit up a spot he knows some of the seedier people uh like to hang about, just kind of like casually ask like if anybody seen this person.
You all find yourselves going to a casino is being kind. It is a very small establishment that is officially just a pub closer to the east side. Though Vegas would know that it is a den of illegal or questionable gambling, as some people would like to say. And you find someone that you've relied on a few times in the past, an Irishman named Jack. And he is kind of sitting towards the back at one of the tables. He's missing one arm from a conflict that he has not really shared with you, and you have not really been curious about asking. And he seems to be in the middle of a card game.
I'm gonna walk over, but where he can see me in his line of sight.
Okay. Anosh and Vegas, have you both used the blush of life?
Yes, it's a success.
Yeah, looks successful.
Okay. You both look healthy and normal. Are you trying to signal to get his attention, or are you just standing there?
Trying to get his attention.
Okay. He does pay you a glance or two, and he gives you a signal to wait for a moment. And he and the person he's playing with finish a hand. They start another one and finish that one as well. Before the man, in frustration, kind of slams his hands down on the table and stands up and walks away. And then Jack gestures you over.
I'm gonna go sit at the table.
What do you want, Vegas?
Need help finding somebody.
I don't think kidnappers. You're not anonymous, but
Not kidnapping. I don't do that line of work. Just kind of looking for somebody who gave me a hard time the other night.
and this person, I assume, does not want to be found.
Oh, probably not. Just need to know if
I
you
don't know. Who
have
are
any
they?
information. He'll give the name.
Know anybody by that name? What can you tell me about them?
Uh, he'll give like a brief description, like what he knows about them, minus, of course, all of the kindred stuff.
And what is this information worth to you?
Well, like, depends. How much is it gonna cost me?
Depends on what you got.
I just need a probable location.
I just need a new car.
Well, I hear the local resale shop sells, good cars starting at $600. Toyota 1990 or something.
1990 is over 30 years ago.
Oh, come on, those things hold up for forever.
If by forever you mean about 30 years, then sure.
Pretty sure you can get 31 out of it.
I may or may not have heard of someone going about matching a similar description. I may or may not be able to tell you where to find this person. And
Again, how new of a car are you looking for?
give me $2,000 and the information's yours.
Fine.
Alright, you will lose a dot of your resources. How many dots of resources do you have?
2. It's
You
not
will
like he spends his
temporarily
money on anything.
you will temporarily lose a dot of your resources until the end of the story, or the end of the story. She was looking for a place to lick her wounds. Didn't bother asking what happened. Didn't really care. I sent her down to the clinic, about 2 blocks from here. I don't ask very many questions, and they're mostly cheap.
How bad she look?
Couldn't tell. She was wearing a thick coat. Very amateur, if you ask me. Still a bit too warm for such a thing, so it was pretty clear she had something she didn't want people to see, but I don't get paid to ask questions. In my line of work, knowing too much is a health hazard.
Yeah, that's fair. But like Jack, come on, you've been in this business like a long time. He's not like, you know, wobbling, standing upright, not leaning on anything.
My expert medical attention is going to require an expert medical fee, Vegas.
I see that degree from like Yale or something. We can talk.
In that case, I hope the rest of your night goes well.
Hope you do too, Jack. Best luck on your next set of cards.
I hope we get to go a much longer time before seeing each other again, Vegas.
Oh, you know you love me.
Sure.
I'll get up and go outside.
Okay. You are able to leave without issue.
Clinic, couple blocks away. Want to at least do a drive-by and see what we're dealing with?
I mean, sure, but I don't know if we have the hardware for that type of thing. Oh, you meant just to look and okay, yes.
Yeah, I'm not about to bust down a clinic store. In
I
this
mean,
neighborhood, you never know what the type of security they got going on.
I mean that's fair. Never hurts to get a look anyway.
All right, well, I'll
Better not
drive.
just barge in like we did before.
Yeah, we're thinking harder this time.
Well, at least we're thinking this time.
I'll drive so it's on your side of the car so you can take a look.
All right. You both make your way over. The drive itself is fairly short, and you arrive outside of a clinic. It's a small one-story building. You feel like it may have been a school once upon a time. It looks just small enough, maybe a kindergarten or something like that. You can see there is a wrought iron gate that goes all the way around. There is a part of it that opens to traffic and for cars leading into a parking lot, though that seems to be closed now. And you can see that there is a lock and kind of like an older, thicker padlock on it at the moment. It looks to be closed right now, though you can see that there is a light on towards the back of the building.
Does it have a sign with a name?
No, it does not, because I did not come up with a name for this building at the moment, and I don't want to accidentally name something that exists. So it is unnamed. It is unnamed. It is the clinic.
Well, Patty's Patchworks.
He's gonna see if he can pull like hours of operation up on his phone.
You find that it is open from 9 a.m. until about 7 at night, and it is currently closer to 9 p.m.
The good news is it's closed during the night.
I mean, I didn't know that these places held normal office hours.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's for show. Back to the Haven.
Hmm. Did they mention how long ago someone had come by here?
I think he said couple of days or like
Oh.
couple a day ago or something like that. Couldn't see how bad she was injured. Wearing a big old coat. Which that's like amateur stuff. Like a big old coat's gonna definitely tip somebody off.
Yeah, because either you got something wrong or you're some sort of weirdo trying to flash people.
Like if you're injured, just like slap a band-aid on. Like, jeez.
Just rub some dirt on it. It'd be fine. Is there any? I wonder. I'll look around and see. Do I see any like cameras on any of the businesses or the street nearby?
What's awareness?
Dun, dun, dun. Waiting 10 minutes for Roll20 to roll it. One success.
You do a quick glance around, you don't see any cameras.
Doesn't look like they take security too seriously around here. I think we're going to have to get our information, any more information, word of mouth. Unless you can find a hidden camera around here somewhere.
I mean, I'm no La Sombra, but he'll lean a little forward because he hasn't gotten out of the car and is gonna activate what's it called? Sense the unseen to see if he sees anything hidden. Maybe like a Nosferatu.
Roll wits and obvious, wits and aspects, I believe. For that roll.
I mean, it's not a great pool, but it's what we're working with. 5 with a messy crit.
A messy crit. That makes things more complicated. The question is, what price will young Vegas pay tonight? So, this is what happens. You immediately begin to kind of hang out of the window of your car. And you feel like you see something closer to the entrance of the building, and you strain your eyes, just trying to will a hazy figure into being. And as you do so, Anash, you begin to hear the sounds of scraping, and you realize that Vegas is gripping the window seal of the car and is slowly pressing their fingers through the metal. It's at that point that you both notice there is a camera that is on the gate entrance facing outward directly in the direction of your car. You aren't sure if it has recorded Vegas's impromptu strength display or not. In Vegas, you realize that once you've realized what you've done, you attempt to look back at what you were trying to focus on, only to find nothing there.
I hate Nosferatu. All right, let's go back to the house. Is that good with you?
Yeah. I mean, we'll make a note of this location because we probably should try to come by and talk to the proprietor of that clinic. They'll perhaps they have some more information about our friend and where they're holed up, or what kind of wounds they were nursing.
That's good, solid plan there.
Well, we don't have much to go on, but something's better than nothing.
They give us a time limit for this.
I mean, we already screwed it up. I don't think it matters at this point. Just try to get it done as quickly and cleanly as possible.
Sounds good.
Try not to make too much of a mess out of it again.
Yeah. I guess we'll head back to the Haven to wait for Tansy and Walt.
Yeah, not a whole lot else to do. Our mission was semi-fruitful, so we got something.
I will make a note. As you all are making your way back, I think that is going to be a great time for us to take our break for the evening. So we will stop and we'll come back at, we'll say past. So go ahead and take care of whatever you need to do, and we'll see where the night takes our young vampires. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle. I am your storyteller, and it is up to me to educate the young, apparently. We are going to dive right back into our story as we are following a pair of kindred as they are making their way inside of a large Gothic building. Walter and Tansy, you are both led through a large set of metal double doors into a foyer that is very nicely designed. The floors seem to be marble, though they seem to be a bit more black than there is white. And there is a single set of stairs that goes straight up, as well as two paths to the left and right. Luther turns toward you. Follow me, and he will start to head up the stairs. Do you both follow?
Walt's following while looking around it for extra details, cause curious.
You look around. It is very nice. Just looking, I guess, giving a glance around, things look to be rather expensive, though it is following a very gothic style. I don't think either of you have dots in academics, so I could be incorrect.
I should. Hold on. I should. Wow, I don't. How did? Okay. Oh well, I don't. A student with no dots in academics. That's tragic.
In that case, you recognize it as very gothic, but you don't know much more than that.
Okay.
As you all are moving forward, Luther takes you along the hallways, and you find there are busts and pictures of a very beautiful woman. Her appearance is kind of pale, based on the image, so you aren't quite sure if that means they're kindred or just a person. Looking at the pictures, they all seem to be old, and you see that they are all of the same person. You aren't quite sure who it is, unfortunately. But after walking for a short while, Luther will stop in front of a set of double doors. You all may enter.
Is there any special protocol or something I should do first, Mr. Luther?
Just stay respectful.
Walt will nod and go.
You ready, Tansy?
Ready as ever. Straighten my hoodie out.
I will reiterate. Walt looks a hot mess, the hottest mess. But he's gonna adjust his backpack and open the door.
As you open the door, you both feel a throb in your fangs as the smell greets you. The iron, tangy, kind of pleasant scent of blood. And as you step in, you find the room itself is large, maybe a 30 by 30. The floor is made out of marble and kind of centered almost in the very center of the room. This looks to be like a very old bath, communal style bath with it looks to be like an angel kind of as the centerpiece, and coming from that you can see spots where water would be coming out. In the middle of the water is a woman that is incredibly beautiful. You have seen her at Elysium, so you recognize her as Jezebel Sangre, though before she looked beautiful. And here she almost looks divine. And can I have the both of you make me a willpower roll, which would be, it would be the combination of, what is it, composure and resolve. If you have spent willpower, it would not, you wouldn't take that into account.
Okay. Three successes.
I got three. 8, 7, 7. That's 3.
Just for a moment, you feel yourself pulled towards her, but you manage to resist. And she looks at you almost disappointed. She kind of leans forward, the water, the crimson water, just high enough to kind of only show about this part of her body and up.
Walt's disappointed now.
Mr. Reshi, and you are of the Giovanni. Interesting. Only the two of you.
Well, I offered, my lady, but Tansy was the only one that wanted to accompany me. It is a pleasure to see you this evening. I hope everything is well.
Oh, your words are so kind. Must admit it is a bit disappointing to not see the coterie that has drawn so much attention to themselves over the last few nights. But the two of you are important in their own right. Please feel free to join me if you like.
Walt's going to stare at the. Is this in fact a blood fountain? Communal bath?
Looks like it.
Walt's gonna stare nervously as he flashes back to Anoush did. But he'll kind of inch toward it. He's trying to be on his best behavior. And he knows you don't turn down invitations. So he's gonna start stripping.
That's right. Take it all off.
Tansy is gonna do the same.
And in Walt's head, he's absolutely going like,
This is the best night ever. You're crazy.
We were
And
it
she,
would be rude to turn down such a lovely invitation.
of course, it was uncomfortable for me to hear that there was a young Tremere that was being left to their own devices, though I hear that Giovanni have been very kind in looking after him.
Well, that's how I met Tansy, and she's wonderful. But thank you for taking such concern after me, my lady. Like, I'm just glad to be reunited with my family, you know?
And family is so important, and we, it just doesn't seem right that he didn't have one.
Family is very important, as you say. I can't help but wonder who it was that left you without one so callously. Mr. Reshi, do you have any idea who that was?
I did not put anything in my lore sheet, so that would have to be a roll.
What does Walter remember about that night?
He remembers that when he was at college, he was at his little community college. He got jumped, got bit. He woke up hungry, rat running by, ate the rat. That's the animalism. And next thing you know, he got a cut, learned that's how he had powers, but that's it. Never really got to see who got the drop on him.
Then that is all that Walter knows.
Walt relay that.
I never did see who got the drop on me, you know, but that's my story.
How unbecoming. I will have to look into that. How
Thank
are
you
you
for taking
feeling
such
this
concern.
evening, Tansy? I've heard some rumors that things have been a bit troubled for you recently.
It's a new city, kind of a new life, new me, and maybe just kind of put some things into perspective and trying to branch out, be a little bit more of my own woman.
Independence is very important. And you see her dive underneath this liquid and begins to make her way towards you. You can see the water ripple where she passes, though it's still just dark enough that you can't see her form. And she emerges in between the two of you.
Do I need to roll composure to control Walt's libido?
You, as a vampire, is not something that is explicitly difficult to do, at least not normally.
He's also in a pool full of blood, so it's like instincts.
It doesn't seem to be bringing your beast any more out of control than normal for either of you. Though that
I know what she's doing then. Okay.
Would you mind? And she holds out her hand towards you, Walter.
Walt extends his.
Would you like to know who your sire is?
Very much so, my lady. I'm sure it would benefit everybody to know this information.
And she brings your wrist up to her mouth, almost as if she's going to bite. Actually, and you see she takes the nail on her thumb and just cuts along the skin just enough to make you bleed. And she takes a small amount of the blood and she begins to cast a ritual.
Ooh, fancy. Walt ain't gonna interrupt it.
Tansy is watching very, very closely, trying to memorize any sort of movements or listen to any words and try and hold on to that.
Trying to learn blood sorcery discreetly, is that correct?
Just paying extra close attention so that maybe if I had proper tutelage, it would
Pulls out a pad of
be a little
paper.
bit easier. But yeah, just taking notes, being exceptionally observant.
Recording it on her smartphone.
Don't think I haven't already thought about busting out some pictures already before we even got here.
I got my Google Glass on.
Roll me your wits in subterfuge. See how well you can observe without being noticed for what you're doing.
So you've been playing nice. And then 2 more for that. All right, so that's only 3.
Got this.
1 success.
Nailed it.
You do your best, but as the magic begins to settle in, Jessica looks over at you and gives you a bit of a wink before turning her attention back to you, Walt. Young. Very young. Interesting. You don't seem to be hiding anything from me. You have not consumed another. That is good. Where were you when you were attacked?
Walt will name drop the college. And I know how you are about branding, so I won't name drop any Cleveland native colleges.
Walt was at the College of Winterhold.
Sure, you could drop that one if you want. That I don't think we. Well, no, Bethesda might come first.
Yep.
Legally distinct from all those places. So no, it's not accurate. I will have to look into this further. Your blood is interesting, Mr. Eshi. Tell me, have you had the opportunity to learn about your clan?
Not extensively, like my homies told me a few things, but I haven't exactly had the history book read to me, my lady.
Right. And just what have they told you?
Well, that tensions have been pretty high, since we recently come back and all, and I don't know the full story about that, but We here trying to make it work, establishing some good relations. And they also said that we're known for, doing the thing with our blood and all that. And that is something that not everybody else can do. I thought it was an everybody thing, and they told me no, it's a Tremere thing. So there's that.
It is. It sounds like your friends have been very kind to you, and for that I am very grateful. And you see, she waves her hand over the water, and she mutters something. And you both see as this crimson liquid begins to form and kind of congeal in certain places. And before long, in the very center is a symbol that Tansy would recognize. The symbol for Clan Tremere. A circle, an outer circle, a cube, and then another circle, and then a darker cube centered in the middle. This is our symbol. It goes back to Hermeticism, if I remember correctly. Our clan has a very complicated relationship. Unfortunately, I can't go into too many details. But you are an inheritor of a great establishment, and although recent history has caused for some unpleasantness, our organization is as strong as ever. We are commonly referred to as the Pyramid, a organization designed from the top down to be powerful. Of course, the Giovanni are their own rules and structure, but I can assure you we are perhaps the best at cooperation. You should have been taught in a more delicate manner, an opportunity to learn your skills properly. But unfortunately, that was not possible before now. How have you been feeding yourself, Mr. Eshi?
Well, my lady, I've been dumpster diving. There's like the things that go scuttle in the night. Sometimes you got to eat a rat or two. So that's kind of how I started, and I haven't really deviated much from that.
How unfortunate. Well, you won't need to debase yourself any further with such things. How far have you come with your studies?
Well, I can demonstrate if that's not a problem.
Please.
Is there like a spider in the room?
Sure, you could find one.
Walt's gonna leap up and grab like a house spider.
Hmm.
Crush it on his person. Get some of his blood. Drink it. Start climbing the ceiling like a crazy person. Like he's Spider-Man. I learned this
Impressive.
back down in the sewers. You know what I'm saying? Like some of them things be scampering pretty tough, so you got to go ahead and catch up to them one way or another. So there was a spider lying around. I was like, what the heck? And then I drank my blood, and then I was doing this.
And then Walt will land on the floor and then get back in the pool.
Impressive. Have you learned anything else?
No, my lady, I'm afraid that's it. Like, I just didn't know where to start. I tried mixing other stuff in my blood, but I didn't get a result. Just got, I guess, different flavors.
I see. Tell me, have you taught anyone else your skills.
Ooh. Oh man. I'm pretty sure she can taste the answer to that. This is the problem. I'm pretty sure she already knows the answer. Walt knows it's taboo. But he wouldn't risk Tansy. Oh, this is tough. Walt will lie. The blood bond is strong and she's right there and he knows it'll put her in danger. He'll lie.
No, my lady, I don't think so. Like, hard times happening, we had to like get a snack off each other once or twice, but they asked me some questions about things, how things work, but I don't think I taught anybody nothing.
Can I have you roll your composure in the cult for me, please?
Yep. This is going to end badly. That is one success.
She rolled considerably more than that.
Oh yeah. She knows he's lying.
Is that right? And you all have been sharing blood as well.
Well, it gets hard to catch something from time to time, my lady, so they helped me out and they fed me a little something, and sometimes somebody was hard up, I fed them a little something, just something to hold us over.
Oh. Is this true, Tansy?
We've had some rough times, and I'm sure you know that there's a moment where you have to decide if you're going to see another sunset or not. And sometimes you have to make choices that most people wouldn't approve of, but you're here for another night, and that's the important thing.
Is she the person you taught your talents to, Mr. Rishi?
Well, she's certainly someone who's taken the most drinks off me, but I don't know if I imparted too much to her.
Does Walter believe that statement to be true?
Yes. That's the thing. Yes, he would, because Tansy never really explained that I drank from you, and this is how I learned blood sorcery.
That is true. You did teach blood sorcery, though. So
Mhm.
I do need for Walt to roll composure in the cult again.
Yep. He would admit that he shared notes with her, but he just and then she could just do it. Like he's saying it's because he taught her book knowledge.
Yeah, because I do have corrosive vitae. Think money,
I
no.
feel like Walt's only saving grace here would be the fact that he has no idea what the hell's going on.
Yep. Ignorance is bliss. That's another one success.
So she got a critical success.
That's about right.
So
He gonna die.
So on a critical win, the subject involuntarily expands upon their answer, providing more information, including details they glancingly saw or subconsciously forgot.
Ooh.
You spilled all the beans.
Well,
You ain't just spilled
how
the beans.
does
Spilled
Walt
some beans on
react? What does Walt say?
Well, I mean, we had a drink or two, and I showed her the notes a couple of times, and I mean, she said she had trouble picking it up, so and then she said she was hungry, and so she had a drink, and I mean, I felt kind of weird, and then next thing you know, she could do it, and I can do it. I thought, after she ate something, she could study a little better, and that's how she learned to do it. I mean, honestly, I didn't know it was a problem until later. But I mean, yeah, she knows something, but I don't know how much. You're the only one I taught, though. I guess I taught her. I'm sorry.
Miss Jackson.
Does
I am for real, though.
anybody else know about this?
I don't think so.
No, we definitely, sometimes
Oh.
secrets are good.
Bad liars.
I mean,
Is
Walt thinks
that-
he's telling the truth.
That's true. It's
And
true.
she will offer a hand towards Tansy. Is that right?
Listen, I'm not, and I give her my hand. I'm not, an expert on, everything that, specific to your family or anything like that, but I do understand the rules about keeping family secrets.
Can I have you roll your dexterity and athletics, please?
Oh,
Oh,
no, Ree. Ree,
mean-
no. Okay.
She took advantage of her new baby. Like, it's kind of par for the course.
Oh, come on, Roll20. Scroll up on my character sheet. What are you doing? Hold on, I gotta reload it. Listen, I'm sure it's like a 1 die or something. Like, this is not going to end well. Let's see.
Does Walt see this coming? This potential attack? He'll take the attack. Because blood bond.
We shall see.
Yeah, that's 1 dice. That's 1 dice. Okay, this one was rolling nicely for me 2 seconds ago. Oh god, that's a 9. Okay, success. 1 success.
Fortunately, she rolled considerably more than that. So, as you are talking, she leans closer, almost as if she's going to take a bite of your neck. But instead, she flicks her nail across your wrist just enough to spill blood into the pool you both are sitting in. And she looks at you. Tansy, Tansy, Tansy. Were you taking advantage of my poor little fledgling?
Walt has helped me out with a lot. I really think that our relationship has been mutually beneficial.
Yeah, I really enjoy her company, my lady.
I'm going to count that as a lie of omission and intentionally attempting to hide the answer. So I need you to make a composure and a quote roll.
Okay. I also, looking at my stuff, I do have the grave attitude. So any attempt to intimidate or manipulate me, my aggressors always suffer a 1 die penalty.
This is not manipulating you or intimidating you.
She's pretty intimidating.
Sure. Once she attempts to scare you, then you feel less afraid than Walter does at the moment.
That's fair enough. All right. Listen, I had to try. I had to try. All right. So what am I rolling again?
Composure and occult.
I'm sorry. What in the cult?
Composure.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, and composure. Best. All right. That's 1, 2. Okay, that's only 2. Oh, that's 3. That's 3. 3 successes.
He unfortunately rolled considerably more than that.
You're enjoying this.
She is aware. Is that right? And does anyone else in your family know what you've been up to?
I'm sure you know that information has like value, like money, and it's even better than money, right? And you know that family secrets are like super important. And obviously, you kind of know that I haven't really been in the best situation with my family. And I was sent here initially to befriend the tower and make allies there. So I do think that maybe there's a place where you and I might have some similarly aligned goals. But that also means that, maybe we could have some very similar enemies. And if we worked together, what would that look like?
I appreciate ambition as much as the next person, but it doesn't bode well if you're trying to dance around my questions, dear. Thought we were all being honest with one another here.
I mean, I am being honest. Everything I just said was completely true.
You are beguiling. However, I do need for you to answer my questions.
Okay, but like, if I tell you, then what happens? And what happens if I don't tell you?
Nothing has happened so far. I've promised you will get to leave safely, did I not?
Walt's eyes are like saucer wide right now, observing this.
Was it who was it that okay, the actually like storyteller, what was the name of the person that told me to learn all the blood sorcery? Was that my grandma?
Mhm.
It was, yes. It was
Okay.
the other Rosalini.
Naughty,
Okay.
naughty.
Um, what was her first name? Because I don't remember anything.
Ilyana.
Ilyana.
Yeah, me too. And
Mhm.
you had that quick in the notes.
Hey, I remembered her relationship to me and who she was. It's the name. um, yeah, yeah. Tansy's gonna make the bid for it. All right. So yeah, like okay, so maybe it was Ilyana, but now that you know that, I know you're gonna let me leave, but like, what happens to her? And then what happens to me next? Because if I'm gonna burn some bridges, which let's be honest, I'm already burning quite a few, then I'd also like to build some. And this doesn't seem like a bad place to build to.
Ah, ambitious and smart. You are very talented. I did not even have to ask for her name. I was under the impression that Giovanni were much more together. That. Tell me, did you blood bond my poor little fledgling to you?
I mean, at first it really was like a desperation thing. I don't handle my hunger well sometimes. But then, he is fun to be around.
Is that right? And is that the only reason you've done it?
Well, I mean, he just seemed like a talented person worth keeping close.
Walt, my poor, poor child. Are you aware of what's been done to you?
I mean, not completely. I mean, I know she's great now, but and it's been cool so far. I mean, they talked about blood bonding being a thing, but I don't know how it works or nothing. Like all I know is, like I ate from her and she cool.
Blood bond is enforced slavery in a way. It requires you, and it forces you to adore the other person to an extreme extent. Thankfully, our clan, no longer employs such barbaric tactics. It is unfortunate for you to fall victim to such a thing. And for it to be used to share our clan's secrets are unfortunate.
Walt just gulps and stares, eyes still big as saucers.
You are both so tense. Relax. It should be fun, comforting. You all seem so afraid. I'm almost getting the opinion you all don't want to see me.
Whenever that, I'm happy to be here. It's just, I feel real bad that I did all this to our people. I didn't know it was like that.
You are young, easily taken advantage of. But I hope to ensure that doesn't happen to you again. And I'm sure Miss Tansy here is going to put in her best effort to make sure you are properly informed in the future. Isn't that right?
I will do my very best.
Perfect. Can I actually need to check the roll for this because I haven't done this in a long time. I don't know what the actual look of this is.
Oh, snap.
Oh no. Oh no.
Question is, who gonna die?
I would say one fear, but in fact there are many.
Can I have you roll your intelligence and resolve, please?
Both of us?
Nope, just Tansy.
Oh boy.
She gets hungrier.
Okay. Oh, all right. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 successes. It's not so bad.
He rolled 6 successes.
Oh.
Of course it is.
Even if I burned a will for
Tansy,
one of the fails is the hunger. Yep.
I need for you to do a favor for me. Can you do that?
I have no way to resist this, do I? That was my fail, was me absolutely agreeing to everything she's about to tell me, isn't it?
So far, you don't feel any different.
Actually, you know what? I would very much like to be your friend. So yes.
Perfect. And she looks over at you and she locks her gaze on yours. The next time you attempt to take advantage of poor Walter, will you return here and wait for further instruction? Ed, you are under the effect of submerged directive. Until this command will remain in place until either it is done or you die, I guess. It doesn't really go away. I just get always there.
One more time and you go to the principal's office.
Flap, flap.
So submerge.
Plant those seeds deep.
Direct.
I'm a Manchurian candidate here in Tansy.
Next time I try to take advantage.
Is it just when Tansy tries to take advantage, or anybody?
Tansy.
Okay.
This would be considered the Tremere Chantry, right? Or what
Sure,
would what
we
would I
can say
call
that
it?
for now. It's you. As far you can leave that in your notes. Whether or not it's true, you all don't necessarily know, but you can leave it. You can leave it that in your notes.
Sexy lady in blood pool. How's that?
Hell yeah.
It's you. It's up to
Exactly.
you.
All right. Note achieved.
I mean, Walt might want to stay longer, but he'd be overstaying his welcome.
And she looks over at you, Walter. Walter, I understand that you are rather new to things, but there are rules that must be followed. You are not able to go around freely sharing your gifts with other people. Have you been taught what your gifts are by chance?
Not in their entirety, my lady. Like things I know is kind of like homeschooling, unschooling kind of thing. Like kind of figured it out in the field. Like I didn't know that I could make people, forget things until like a couple of days ago.
Yes. It is one of 3 gifts of our blood. The first one is the sight. With enough time, you gain the ability to see things the others will miss. With enough training, you will find that you can see truly wondrous things, Mr. Ishii. The world is never as mundane as you may think it is. You also have the gifts of domination. You've learned
You
about
sound
it
kind
a
of kinky.
bit.
I'm sorry.
You learned about it a bit in being able to remove memories. But there are many more things down that path for you to learn. Many things to be learned with a teacher, ideally. And then there is thaumaturgy, or blood sorcery, the gift of our blood. I won't go into the history of our clan tonight. There's far too little time, let alone the other 13 or so. For now, you have to understand that it is difficult to learn, but with a teacher, the limits of your abilities will be virtually impossible to find. Many centuries will pass before you realize the answers to many of your more dying questions. For now, you are unable to share the gifts of your blood with anyone else. Do you understand?
Understood, my lady. Thank you for your mercy.
And if you find yourself wanting to teach someone else, I want you to burn whatever documents you have been creating. Can I have you roll your intelligence and resolve, please?
Oh, poor Walt.
Oh, she's rolling really well tonight, though.
1 success out of 5 die.
He
Oh,
rolled
yeah.
considerably more than that. So you are under a submerged directive as well, Walter. The next time you attempt to share any of the gifts of your blood, you will burn whatever notes you happen to have either recently created or be in the middle of creating.
Not the lab notes. But Walt will nod and say,
I mean, I would have done it anyway, you know what I'm saying? Like, but for you, absolutely.
Do you share your blood with Tansy anymore?
I mean, it's been quite some time. I definitely haven't done it in recent history.
How recent do you mean by recent history?
Like months ago.
Do you intend to share your blood with her ever again?
If it's an emergency, you know, like I can't let her die, my lady.
Miss Giovanni, do you intend to give your blood to my fledgling?
I mean, again, I can't plan for every scenario, but no one wants to have a really bad time, especially if it's going to cause really bad problems for everybody and blow the masquerade and things like that. So I can't really promise never, ever, 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 but just not like casually, just emergencies only, maybe.
I have you roll intelligence and resolve for me, Tansy.
oh, my. She's just stacking the orders.
Just for funsies.
It's a little bit. To be fair, you guys kind of put yourselves in this position by being too trusting of the
100%.
Tremere.
Absolutely, absolutely.
But I
100%.
appreciate the trust you've shown to the Tremere tonight.
The Tremere can definitely be trusted.
That's Walt's family tree. What you talking about?
Yeah,
Everything's fine.
I'm gonna burn a willpower, and I'm gonna re-roll. I can re-roll 3, right?
Yep, 3 non-hunger dice.
Yep. Well, my hunger dice was a crit, so excellent, much better. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Nope. Sorry. Nope. 4 successes. 4 successes. I know what numbers are.
Good show.
4 successes. Still probably
Close, but no cigar. She looks at you. The next time you attempt to blood bond my poor fledgling, please kindly stake yourself for me.
Ooh.
Yeah. So, Tansy, with that sort of, I guess, glassy look on my face, I'm gonna stand up out of this blood pool, dripping everywhere, I suppose. And is there a appropriate wooden item nearby?
And he wanting to blood bond Walt now?
Oh, you said if I try to do it, I have to stake it. Oh,
Mhm.
I thought, I'm sorry, I misheard. I thought
If you make the
she told me
attempt to do it
now.
again.
No.
All right.
It is a submerged.
It
It is a submerged directive.
Blood bond wall.
Not the desire. That would just be unfair.
Again.
I mean, Tremere aren't really known for fairness.
Walt doesn't know that. He thinks his people are out looking out for him.
I mean, to be fair, so far they really are. I mean,
they ain't killed him yet. And she's really nice and really pretty. What more do you need? She's smart too.
She's got a blood jacuzzi. I mean,
I am really glad I stayed home with Vegas.
I mean, did you see that body though?
would have hated you.
I'm glad Walt left Precious at home.
Now, is there anything else the two of you might be forgetting to tell me?
You're gorgeous.
You're too kind, Mr. Reshi.
I mean, I wish I would have brought a gift, but Mr. Luther said it. It's okay, and that you really needed me. I don't like to come empty-handed like that. It's kind of bad hospitality. You know what I'm saying? I had to work a part-time job.
Over at Insert Restaurant here.
You have already given me more than enough, Mr. Reshi. I have a feeling that the two of you are going to make for very nice companions.
Walt just grins. He thinks he accomplished something good.
Walt's like nailed it.
He really sitting here like, these are my kind of people.
Walt's like, hell yeah, I did it.
Are either of you hungry tonight?
Well, I'm always a little hungry, but I mean, it kind of comes with the territory. My diet.
Yes, I will have steps taken care of, so that way you don't need to resort to such means. I can understand what it's like to be recently changed. The transition can be so difficult for some of us.
I mean, last time I thought about like eating somebody, I got bitten. So, like if you can fix the hunger, I'm on down for that. But I don't know how to be a problem to my people or nothing. Like, I don't want to hurt nobody.
There are very few ways to get rid of the hunger. None that I know of that are permanent. But there are a few ways to make it easier to deal with.
Okay, like, cause I was real hungry, and that's when I met this really scared lady who was in the pitch black. Like she asked me if I wanted to know something, and I said yeah, and I told her she reminded me of my Mima, and then next thing you know, I was fearing for my life.
That does not sound very pleasant. Do you also need help, Miss Giovanni?
Not tonight, but I wouldn't say no to a rain check.
Of course. There will be plenty of opportunities for us all to get to know each other in the future. For now, though, things are getting rather late. If I remember correctly, you all have some things you need to tend to as well.
Oh, you know about I did.
Speaking of,
I do.
We've made a lot of promises, and I, gave you some really important information. Do you have any information about this ghoul we're supposed to be looking for?
I know quite a bit about the ghoul you're after. She is interesting. It is an opportunity for the four of you to learn. But I can help you. How about you both agree to give me a minor boon in exchange?
What's that?
It is a debt. For us, it is worth more than money. There are a few different levels. There are trivial boons, rather unimportant favors that are more or less exchanged unofficially. Minor boons are a bit more serious. They're usually tracked, though they aren't painful to follow. And there are major boons, serious debts between us, kindred. And then there are life boons, which, funnily enough, are usually the fastest given, but are the most dangerous. A life for a life. Try your best not to owe a life debt. Though usually the punishment for learning blood sorcery without permission is death or a life debt. But we will keep that between us.
Walt looks noticeably relieved.
Well, I take you up on that, but you know my track record with accruing debts is pretty bad lately. So, I mean, if you know me, you know I got some bad credit and stuff like that.
Don't you worry. I have a feeling you're going to be turning over a new leaf soon, Mr. Rishi. Consider it an investment into your future.
Oh, she is speaking his language. This is so sad. Poor Walt. They know him before knowing him.
But a debt from each of you.
Yeah, I try to straighten up, look a little bit more like relaxed and official, and say I meant what I said when I said I wanted to be your friend, and yes, you may have this minor boon in exchange for the information.
Well, Tandy did not
Woman.
mean.
The woman is ambitious in her own right. She had been given permission to be embraced a long time ago, but unfortunately, her would-be sire was felled by members of the Sabbat. She has become quite adept at hunting our kind, and was allowed to more or less do so freely. But unfortunately for her, the Sabbat have disappeared, or whatever insanity they are doing, which has left her out of work, so to speak. And we also dislike our loose ends.
So, you mean she's been going around doing all the work for everybody and now she ain't got no use? Y'all just want to kill her?
I don't believe anyone said you had to kill her.
I keep it did.
Well, she may have given you different instructions. She can be, well, she has her own reasons for doing things. But as far as I know, you don't necessarily have to kill her. You could kill her in some ways, that would be clean. There are other ways.
Man, I could tell that shit was a deal or something.
Always an opportunity.
Walt grins because this is his area of expertise in his mind.
But that still doesn't explain her. So she was working with this Sabat, and then the Sabat all disappeared, and now she's out here still hunting us.
She was hunting Sabbat kindred for their vitae.
Oh.
Most ghouls are created through the willing exchange of our blood, but that is not a requirement. Keep that in mind should you decide to create your own Desperation has felled many young kindred who were interested in making blood dolls and blood wives and any of that nonsense. It was very popular in the 1200s. But you should be careful. But there's no more Sabat, and she still needs her blood. Which means, well, suddenly we find new reasons to hunt, new people to hunt. Which is where you four come in.
Do you know if she's working with anybody, or is she just sort of, lone wolf?
Well, that I don't know. She is resourceful. Old for mortal standards. Well, she may have friends in the neighborhoods she lives. I don't know if she has any allies amongst our kind. I wouldn't put her past it. She'd be a fool to do what she did without any kind of assurances.
You don't happen to know the last one of us that she attacked most recently? Like you said, Sabatim been gone for quite some time. She
I'm
takes
unable I'm unable to confirm, but I believe the last known person she killed was a La Sombra.
I mean, I know they're hanging out with you guys now, but close enough though, right?
I have no need for her actions to be justified.
Do you
There
know
was a
this Lasombra's
time
name?
I do not. I don't get along too well with the shadow dancers. They covet their secrets too much.
I'm sorry for interrupting, my lady. You continue your explanation. I just worried about a previous friend of mine.
Has been a while.
It's so cute that you all still rely on your friends. I wonder how long that will last for you two. It is refreshing to see people so alive. But I think I have kept you two long enough. I imagine your coterie mates will begin to worry if you don't return home soon.
Yep.
Please have Luther take you both back.
I'm happy to be dismissed now, my lady, but is that like a towel or something? I don't want to get blood on the interior. You know, that's a really nice car.
I will have something outside the halls for you.
Thank you. Oh, okay. One last question. What are the red lights for? I love the custom job that you did in that limo.
It's something I picked up from a Setite friend of mine. If you do it just in the right way, in the right settings, you can induce a kind of passion in our hearts. It weakens over the years, but in the right situation, it can be almost as good as being alive. Especially if you have a particularly good source of blood nearby.
Walls
I
taking mental note
like
of that.
it. Honestly, that's like really resourceful. Good job.
We need to put red lights on our shopping list.
The wall will rise, and he's gonna just kind of walk of shame, carry his dirty clothes.
Right.
Same. Yep, I'm gonna leave the pool and like do a little like the head nod. Thank you.
Walt's gonna bow.
You are both very welcome.
That's what I'm supposed to do, right? You know.
You are doing just fine, Mr. Eshi.
Good. And Walt smiles. He's gonna continue his walk of shame with his bundle of dirty clothes and backpack.
And as Walt and Tansy are making their way back to their coterie, I think that will be where we wrap up our session for the evening. I want to thank those of you who are watching for joining us for this adventure, this vampire story. And I want to thank the 4 players here for working with me to tell a story. We will go ahead and let these wonderful people introduce themselves to you and tell you where you can find them. And this time we will start with Dicromaniac.
Hi, yep, I'm Di. You can find me at Dicromaniac. And yeah, thank you. This was so much fun. I really enjoyed it.
All right, Sir Monolith.
Hi, I'm at Sir Monolith, and I play here on Monday nights as well as Sunday nights and Erithian nights. So definitely come by on Sundays to check it out.
All right, next up, Small Shadow Snack.
I am Mari. Again, you can see me here on Sunday nights playing Layla, which is always fun and exciting. She's up to no good, but it's okay.
All right, next up, Earthringer.
Oh snap! Walt got a bloody sugar mama, and so far he's in her good graces. What's up, y'all? Y'all know I'm Earthringer. Y'all know you can find me on Twitch at Earthringer and YouTube at Earthringer Magic. You can also find me here on Sundays and Mondays at Re-Rolls until Re kicks me out. You can also find me on the Cookout TTRPGs until Kira kicks me out. And you can find me farting around on the Gremlin Collective until Ari, Gliza, or Die kick me out.
Never.
And that's it from me. Take us home, Re.
All right, and with that, our vampire story has reached its end. So please join us next week, both for Erithian Nights on Sunday and The Price of Power on Monday. And we will continue our vampire story. Until then, we'll see you.